Have you ever wondered how Iman Gaji creates his thumbnails? I have a very simple promise for you today. I'm going to show you exactly how he does it in Photoshop. It's a combination of art and the core message, balanced and well crafted for you to muse at the beauty of the composition and also be compelled to click. We'll cover the right way to set up your workspace, theme-based backgrounds, focal points, imagery, color, lighting effects, typography, and more, and also give you a small gift at the end of the video. Let's dive in. Open Photoshop, go to File, New, set the resolution to 1920 by 1080, which will give your thumbnail a higher resolution than the usual 1280 by 720. Set the color profile to sRGB as shown here. Check this box as this will give you a lot of flexibility with your canvas, and create. For the background, Iman usually goes for something with details to give it some kind of personality. So to bring in your background image, go to File, Place Embedded, and place it in your workspace. You're gonna overlay your background with a blue-red gradient. So create a rectangle, go to Layer, Fill Gradient, choose Bright Blue-Red, and move your image background over the gradient you just created, like that. Beautiful. Just like we did with the background, bring in your subject and some imagery that's related to your topic or brand. We're gonna keep it simple, so 2 sources of light and bookcase. Now we're gonna create a point of intrigue, a well-lit table on which a subject leans, and where we'll also see subtle reflections of the imageries. Go to gradient, and for this, give it a pale blue and pinkish transition. Change the angle to around 20 degrees, and click in the middle of your gradient to add the third color. Click OK and adjust the table so that it feels like he's resting his elbows on it. To make it feel more realistic, we're gonna clip this corner right here. So go pick up your polygonal lasso tool and mark the area you want to cut out. Go to Layer, rasterize it, and click the Delete key on a keyboard. Now let's put to use our sources of light. Go to the LED tube, double click, and this blending options panel should pop up. Go down to outer glow, give it a slightly brighter color than that of your background. Increase the noise to around 10 to mimic the effect of a light bouncing on a rough object. Adjust the spread a little bit and the size too. We're gonna do the same thing with this bulb. So create a circle around it and give it a bright pink glow. Just make sure nothing is standing out too much. So you want to kind of blend in everything, and so that's why you're gonna give this case a purple color overlay to kind of make it belong into this environment. Let the lights do the shouting. Now this is the exciting part. We're gonna create some reflections on our table, and to do that, click on your subject, then Ctrl J or Command J on a Mac to duplicate, then Ctrl T to turn on transform mode. Right click on the subject, go down to flip vertical, adjust him like that. Now if we use the normal warp tool to make the impression of the shadow, it will take ages and it might not be as clean. So go to Edit, down to Perspective Warp, and draw over your reflection from the center like that, and also on the right, and still in Perspective Warp. Go here to Warp, click on it, and adjust it nicely, like that. Click OK. And now to give it the natural faded shadow feel you see in real life, we're gonna add some gradient, and to do that, we're gonna mask our shadow. So go click on Mask, Gradient, and from the bottom, drag it straight upwards, and reduce the opacity to around 70, and boom, there we have our shadow. Do the same thing with the rest of the imageries. We're gonna brighten up our subject a little bit, and we'll start with coloring his chart. To do that, pick up your quick selection tool and make the selection. And you can deselect unwanted areas by holding down the Alt key. Go to Adjustment Layer, then go up to Hue and Saturation. Make sure the colorize box is checked and play around with the slider until you're satisfied with the choice. We're gonna pump up the saturation to around 100. Looking good. For the light reflections on the subject, first we will merge the selection we just made with the subject. So select both of them, right click and convert to smart object. Double click on the right side of the smart object and in the blending options panel, give it a blue-red gradient overlay or something that resembles your background. Click OK. So we're gonna make the gradient we just created into a layer of its own to be able to achieve more natural reflections. So right click on the gradient and go down to create layer, add layer mask, pick up your brush, make sure the black part is on top and start brushing over so you only have the reflections on the sides. As you approach the edge, reduce the flow to around 50. To add color or switch between foreground and background color picker, click X on your keyboard and continue brushing over. And add some brighter highlights on the creases as you see fit. This is gonna transform our highlights like crazy. Go to image, adjustments, then exposure. Move the slider to around 0.25 and look at that. Beautiful. Before, after. Before, after. For captions, Iman uses bold, white text with little to no effects. So remove your imageries to make room for the caption. Click key for text and choose something like Montserrat Bold, available on Google free fonts by the way. Set the size to around 100, the bigger the better. Instead of the overused arrow, we're gonna go for a dashed rectangular like shape, just like how Iman does it. So pick up your curved rectangle tool and draw from the middle of the text on the left to the middle of the text on the right. Go to appearance, give it a white stroke and remove fill, and you might want to increase the weight of your stroke to around 20 pixels so that it is easily visible. Grab the marquee tool, make sure the layer is rasterized, select the top part and cut it off, and do the same for the middle part where you will add some text. This text we'll call context caption. In this case, it tells us how long it took to go from 0 to 10K. You see, you want to give the viewer enough information to understand what the video really entails, even before they read the title. Now, we'll make it smaller to achieve some kind of textual hierarchy, as it is a secondary caption in your composition. To increase its visibility, I'm gonna give it some shadow and a thin stroke. Now, of course, you can play around with different colors to make it stand out even more. Or you can repeat the process we did before, but with a dotted circle. And there you go. Let me know which creator style you would like us to explore next, and if you would like the PSD to create your thumbnails with, along with other assets, I've linked them in the description. They're free for now. Otherwise, hope you've enjoyed the video and learned something. See you in the next one.